Claudia, thanks for taking the time to sit down with me today. I appreciate it. You are a member of the Biotech Committee for SAA, Seed Association in the Americas. Can you tell us a little bit about the committee? Why is it so important to the seed industry?
Of course, and first, thank you also for the opportunity of being here. We are in a century, or we are in a process in the time frame where technology is quickly advancing in all the type of things that we talk. We talk about food, we talk about cars, we talk about technology, phones, everything. Everything is moving. Biotech is one of the tools that is quickly moving, and we have adopted, and we, provide us benefits, from a technical perspective in order to assure us an affordable, food and plate of food for everyone in this planet. One of the challenges that we have is that every single country has a different vision, or regulatory system that works with managing those technologies and the deployment of that technologies that create several criticals, we can call it asynchronous. Mm-hmm. So something that is highly regulated here probably is not exactly regulated the same way just across the border.
Great.
And we as an industry, and the food industry is global, every single industry is global today. So the ability to really being able to move things from one part of the other becomes essential. That being said, this is the framework. The seed industry needs a coordinate forum across the Americas, that there are the producers of food for the world, in order to facilitate the adoption and development of the most relevant technologies.
Right.
That's where seed associations of the America can play a role. Different associations, seed industry associations from different countries sit together, harmonize our visions, define strategies, define, the talking points or positions that we're going to fit every single country, or they were going to fulfill different countries' needs.
Right.
And then we can have a harmonized, interaction with the different regulatory bodies or agencies in the different countries. And that's why this job became essential in order to grow.
I'm thinking harmony is not a simple thing to accomplish by any stretch of imagination. How do you see, or what are the critical steps for the Biotech Committee to kind of create and build that unified approach?
I think that there are several angles that we can look at that. The first option, or the first angle, needs to be across the industry.
Right.
We need harmonization, or we need common values, and be sure that we are able to identify them across our own industry. Then you have the ability to interact with countries at one-off level, but with a harmonized request. It's a little bit much easier than just going companies alone or countries alone. And then all those countries, and majority in America, we have those big development poles, like the Mercosur or the North America's initiatives and the Andean countries communities. If we can engage with them in conversations during those forums, our message became much more effective. So that's the third leg. Is the industry, is country by country, but it's also across the organizations that the countries are developing, that we can develop we can go with a unified message.
Right. What's the makeup of the committee? Is the committee...
The makeup of the committee depends on probably two factors. One is, the right representation. The other is, the passion that each of us as members of the committee have across a particular job that make us more efficient. In the makeup of the committee, we have a formal structure, we have a chair, a vice chair, committee members, but we also have working groups. And those are where a lot of the job is being done. And to be honest, I think that a lot of that is driven by the right representation and the passion that we put on the table in order to see a difference.
And it has made some strong headway in accomplishing a lot of goals.
I think that we have done a very nice job setting out attainable objectives.
Right.
You know, first of all, identifying what are the critical areas. You know, Seed Association of South America has 4 big working committees, you know, biotech, seed treatments, intellectual property, and phytosanitary as the 4 major topics, you know, that the industry faces across all the Americas. Then each of those committees has set a path forward. Right. You know, with clear objectives and attainable objectives. And we have the ability to review those, you know, things needs to be evergreen. We need to keep moving into the right direction. And then in each of those committees, you know, selecting the right people to provide guidance, provide some of the resources, and then reach out into whichever is the best expert that you can get into the different countries, always assuring that you have an overarching representation. That's something that we have to always keep in mind. It's not an association from one country or from one company. It's an association that works across the Americas, and it's valuable across all the Americas, and it's valuable across all the companies. Doesn't matter if you're a big, small, large, whatever, you know, everyone needs to be represented.
So Claudia, there's always need for more people to get involved. What advice or what's the profile of the person that you think would be useful to become part of the biotech committee at SAA?
You're right. It's always need for more, and the more we are, the best work that we can do. What is the profile? I think that you have to have a combination of excitement about being able to make a difference. You know, you have to be a person that you believe that you can make a difference in order to really participate. And expertise is welcome, but it's probably not mandatory. It's about the ability to understand how to move the needle. What do we need to do in order to move the needle? This is the profile that we are looking for. And again, that doesn't need to be an expert or from a large country or from a small country or for a large company or for a small company. It's about your engagement and participation.
Excellent. Thanks for taking the time to share your insights with us. I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm always glad to help.